And to do that sometimes, you know, we don't even know that we're actually capable of that kind of strength, but it all exists inside of us. And that's what, you know, this book is all about. You know, it was these tools, you know, I would call it a power tool, this book, you know, with the journal prompts, with the affirmations, with, you know, the mantra, the meditation. All of these are practices that help me balance my life through the challenges. And I'm so happy to be able to get this, you know, to go through what I went through in order to be able to tell this story adequately. You know, I'm not selling nothing fake. You know, I walk through this, and I feel that's like invaluable. You know, that's like gold. If I could get, you know, if I could get the answers, oh my goodness, you know. So I hope this is productive for you, for real.
People are going to see the title though.
Right.
Because you smart. You knew when you called this book Unbothered. In the year 2022, after all the stuff that has happened in the last year and a half, when everybody on the internet was like, yo, this dude is unbothered. We watched Love and Hip Hop.
Somebody's ready to turn up.
Unbothered again. But like people, let's just be honest, people assume that with all the drama, all the stuff with Fizz, all the stuff with April, all the stuff on the blogs, all the people saying, oh, Marion is unbothered, that you took this title and that you were about to be talking about some stuff related to that. Why this title, and who are you unbothered by?
Well, when the fans dubbed me Mr. Unbothered, it really gave context to, you know, a posture that, you know, I felt like I've always held in my life and through my experiences. Because, you know, being unbothered doesn't mean that you don't get bothered. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that, you know...
Break that down. Right. Say that. That needs to be repeated. Say that again. Being unbothered.
Unbothered doesn't mean that you don't get bothered. Yeah. You actually feel everything. You know what I mean? We're feeling beings, you know what I'm saying? So the thing about being unbothered is you actually recognizing it and seeing how it serves you. You know, it's the difference between, you know, reacting to life and responding. And when you create that little bit of space, you know, to be unbothered, you give yourself, okay, wait a minute, does this make sense for me? You know, how will this affect me? You know, you get to ask yourself those questions. And if somebody would have told me that, you know, during certain experiences, well, it obviously turned into a book, but for the most part, if I could have been guided, that would have been an amazing thing. But, you know, that's not the story, you know what I mean? The story is that, you know, I want you guys to realize the importance of emotional intelligence and how, you know, it can really help you align with the kind of life you really want to live, period.
So let's start there. Let's start there, because I'm seeing a lot of people here who have deep admiration for you and what you do. You have a calling that most of us don't have. You have a gift that most of us don't have. We just don't. In some ways, if you are as talented as you are and as you were at the age that you were, the calling sometimes is clear. It seems clear.
Yeah, for sure.
But how do the rest of us find our purpose? You know, in the book you help us get there a little bit. How do we find our purpose?
I think the first important step to finding your purpose is deciding, you know, where value lies within yourself. You have to ask yourself, you know, what are you doing? Why are you here? You know, what's the point of your being? You know, what kind of experiences do you want? The book really encourages you to go inward, and, you know, it sounds good, but it's actual work that is involved in that, and that's asking yourself those tough questions. You know, but it also creates value. And when you step into a space and you know your value, because see, I see a lot of valuable people in here, you know what I'm saying? So when you step inside that place, you want to have the ultimate courage. You want to have the ultimate confidence because you've given yourself an opportunity. You know, maybe not when the world was, maybe not when your mom was, maybe not when your friend was, but you actually patted yourself on the back and you helped yourself. And there's nothing more powerful than that.
There's slightly more women in here than men, I think.
Hey, ladies. Hey.
What do you tell these black women and girls who go out in the world who think they have purpose, and the world tells them you can't do it because you're a black girl? You know what I mean? You achieve, people push you back. I'm looking at Quinta Brunson win an Emmy, and I see a white man laying out on the floor and she's trying to accept the Emmy. You know, like, how do you? Because like finding your purpose sounds great in an empty room.
Right.
But we got enemies, we got challenges, we got naysayers, we got doubters. What do you do then?
I think it's important to, you know, understand your power, understand your purpose, understand where you value. I think all of those things have to align, you know, with what it means to live a good life. And, you know, like you said, it does sound good, but being unbothered is also being balanced. You know what I'm saying? If I wouldn't have went through some of the things that, you know, I went through, then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the opportunity to share this information with you and tell you how important it is. And also for you to have such a profound effect on me. You know, for me to be able to be on the other side of your appreciation, your thanks, your gratitude. You know, that's something that I want to mirror, you know, and that's how I'm showing up in this space. You know, I want to show up like that. Like, you know, when you think about Bo and you think about his journey, it was positive. It was good. He meant well. He showed respect. He showed love. And we gave it back to him. Yeah.
What role does fear play in this? One of my favorite parts about your book is that you help us talk and think through fear. Because again, like, we get scared trying to find it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess I get nervous too. I'm nervous now. I just playing.
How about say? Stop lying.
I'm just playing. You know, fear is an interesting thing, you know, because fear can really paralyze you. You know what I'm saying? It can really just keep you stuck, and you be just like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I'm nervous. You know, but the thing about dealing with it and facing it is, you know, that's when you really start getting your lessons. You know what I'm saying? You take that first step and you're like, wait a minute, hold up. You know, maybe this was something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, wait a minute. And, you know, a happening starts to, you know, form in your life. So the special thing about fear, you know, is, you know, it allows us to feel, okay? But it should never allow us to be stifled. It should never allow you to not keep moving forward. Fear is actually a tool if you know how to use it.
People are not going to believe that you are afraid of anything because you always win. I'm just telling you, people are looking like this dude ain't scared. But I've seen your journey, and I know there's moments where you slipped and fall, and I know there's moments where you've had losses that people don't know about.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about that part of the journey.
Yeah, that part is so important, you know, to realize self. You know, one of the things that I speak about in the book, you know, was me being encouraged and deciding to go back on tour for the Millennium Tour. Did anybody here come to the Millennium Tour?
That was Bow Wow's tour, right?
Nah. But yeah, when we got back together, that was intense for me, you know, because it brought back up a lot of my, you know, childhood experience. And I think sometimes people really skim over that because we obviously grew up together, but yo, you know, I mean, I was a child. You know what I'm saying? I was a child, I was a kid, I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, stepping into such an industry, you know, put me in a position to be able to share this information. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really happy to do so.
The industry can chew you up and spit you out, though.
Oh, real fast. Just go visit Hollywood. You know what I mean? you know?
What lessons did you learn from the industry? What lessons did you learn from not just the music industry, but being a child star that helped you hold on to joy, that helped you wrestle with fear, that helped you think about your purpose?
Everyone has their own unique experience, you know, and because I really understand that, you know, I'm able to really focus on what's meant for me. And the thing that, you know, I've always held on to, you know, was that whatever's meant for me is meant for me. And that has kept me, you know, honest and honest, you know, and, you know, like you said, in moments where, you know, maybe it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go, you know, I just honor those moments because they really help me level up. They really help me decide, figure out what it is that I want and also what I'm not willing to accept, you know, and what I'm willing to let go, you know, not just for letting go sake, but for myself, you know what I mean? And there's so much power in that. You know, we do things with people, you know what I mean, especially when we love hard, you know what I mean? I know the women could feel this, you know what I'm saying? When you love hard and then that love is not reciprocal, you know what I'm saying? It does something to you, you know? You really have to choose to decide, you know, to love again. And what I'm saying is when you decide to love again, it's a powerful thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like you love it on another level. So
that happened to you, heartbreak happened to you, someone didn't love you back?
I wouldn't necessarily just say someone didn't love me back because it was really, you know, a wealth of knowledge that I understood, and that was everybody is not meant to, you know, like, you know, some people are meant to be a chapter, and then some people, you know, will be a book, you know what I mean? Most of the time your family members are part of your, you know, your longevity story, you know, so it's just best to realize those things and recognize why those things come into your space. And I just really gave myself time to experience that, you know, and not just be something that's like, you know, detrimental. It's something that I could say like, okay, you know what I mean, that was a vibe at that time. And now we on a new, okay, love you, we out. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? So,
how do you know when to let something go as a moment or a vibe and when to fight? Just like, how do you know that wasn't meant for me, right? Versus, I need to work harder to get it. Because I know people that be like, that job just wasn't meant for me. Like, bro, you ain't fill out the application.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you strike that balance?
I think you strike that balance with your intentions, you know, and that is, you know, linked to your purpose. I think that, you know, you gotta be honest with yourself. Like you said, there's some people that don't put in the work. So, you know, which kind of creates an interesting paradox because then if you see somebody that you don't feel like is deserving of it and gets it, then boom, now you tripping. You know what I'm saying? And now you're not focused on what you need to do. And see, you know, that's something that in my journey, like I said, that I was able to navigate because, you know, I was given the tools to have the ultimate confidence in my purpose and my ideas. And it really helped me discern, because you gotta have discernment in those moments. It helped me discern, like, okay, is this not happening because of my lack of effort? You know, which, like I said, accountability is very important. And then on another side is like, you know, the odds against me. You know, ultimately you want to reach your goal though. So when you ask yourself those questions, they're meant to be answered and you're meant to move forward.
How do you know when you should change the goal? Like, I'm sure there was a time where your goal was just to sell a gajillion records and win a bunch of...
Never. No. Interestingly, never. Yeah, I remember when I got nominated for a Grammy. Like, I don't even have some of my awards because, you know, they didn't mean, you know, what they mean to me now. You know, like an artifact, you know, of a time period. You know, there's so many times when I was an entertainer as a kid where I wasn't present in the moment. And it was like people would come up to me and they would be like, yo, you remember such and such and such? And I would be like, no. You know what I mean?
Were you unhappy at that time?
I wouldn't say that I wasn't unhappy, but because I was doing what I love. Like, I love entertainment. I still love entertainment, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that I wasn't unhappy, but I just feel like, you know, at that particular time, I didn't understand the value of breath work. I didn't understand the value of meditation. I didn't understand the value of, like, you know what, I need to take a day for myself, like, and not be around nobody. I never saw the quality of that. You know, I never understood. Only until, you know, that time came. And then when that time came, I was like, oh, that's why they said you gotta be by yourself sometimes. Don't be afraid to be alone. It's like, it really, how can you pour into someone, you know, if you empty, you know, so you have to be full in order to pour into someone else, you know, and it behooves you to be around other people that can pour into you as well, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we want to create a healthy environment for love and respect. So, you know, those are pretty much, that's the list, you know, that's the list you got to check off if that's what, you know, you want for yourself.
As men in this culture, we're not taught to do breathing.
Yeah.
To become yogis, to meditate.
Right.
To think about energy and feelings and spirituality. I have 2 questions for you. First one is, how'd you get there? Because that didn't just happen.
Yeah.
You weren't just on tour one day and just started meditating, right? So there was an intervention. Talk to me about that intervention. How'd you get there?
Yeah, well, I have to shout out, you know, my OGs, Michael Beckwith, who, you know, is an amazing author and just an amazing teacher. You know, I definitely would advise y'all to peek your head on Michael Beckwith in the Agape, you know, church. It's amazing what he does and just the words, you know, the responsibility of the words that we speak. Words are so powerful. You know, Michael Beckwith and also Sadhguru, all the way from India. You know, I'm so happy to know a guru from India because, you know, a lot of time, you know, we have so many prolific artists and philosophers in the U.S. that, you know, when someone comes from another country and they feel like they have something to give, you know, which intrigued me the most, you know, I went down to his Isha Foundation and, you know, I did one of his courses and I had never done yoga for like 7 days, you know, straight, meditating. And when I did that, you know, I really, you know, found a different version of myself that I just did not know existed. A more calm, a more peaceful, a more understanding, a more acceptance, you know, version of myself through these systems. And I was like, yo, I gotta tell my people about this, you know, obviously in my own way, in my own version. But those brothers and also Sri Master Gano Grill, you know, he definitely shared a wealth of information about ancient history and our natural power. And yeah, that pretty much did it for me. Also too, the Millennium Tour, you know what I mean? The Millennium Tour did it for me too because, like I said, it was like a blast from the past. So, you know, I got to be reminded of a lot of the work that I did, you know, because as artists, you know, we do the work and then we move on, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, to be able to see my child self, to be able to do that routine, do you know, like it was a joy, you know what I mean? Because, what's up, baby? The baby was there too. Come on, baby, we got our babes. Yes, that's what they said. But yeah, that experience definitely was profound and had an effect on me because my deciding factor was to be unbothered. You know, when I thought about all of the things that we went through, all of, you know, the ups and downs, you know, I had to weigh whether or not, you know, my own emotions and ego, you know, would not allow me to still connect with these very people that I'm still connected with. You know, it was a powerful decision, and this is all those things that led to.
Do you regret it? Do you regret it?
Oh no! Oh my goodness! No way! No way! It was definitely carved out and meant for me, and that's what I mean. When you walk in your power, you know, everything is meant. You know, so. So then, but you make mistakes sometimes, right? Of course. So how do you distinguish between when it was meant, it was a lesson for me to learn, and I just messed that one up. I shouldn't have went there. I shouldn't have did that. Commitment and communication. You know what I'm saying? And those are the telltale signs. You know what I mean? That, you know, is the communication flowing? You know, usually when things come in your life and they stay in your life and are good for your life, they just flow right in. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the things that I watch out for. You know, when there's challenges, you know, our ability to communicate what it is that we want, our obligation to understanding how to support one another. Communication is real big key. And you know, this attitude also falls into my business, you know, because, you know, I want to have powerful partners. You know, I want to be able to tell people, you know, that actually is going to read the book and be like, yo, he was right. You know what I'm saying? Rather than, you know, how I look or how I'm, you know, appearing. You know what I'm saying? This is way deeper than that.
If everybody in B2K had read this book, how might things have gone different?
Well, you know, I think that, you know, first and foremost, understanding and respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have been the first thing. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times when we are upset or when we're going through things, you know what I'm saying, we like to almost listen to reply. You know what I mean? Like, I think maturity has something to do with it. You know what I mean? Because we're all in so many different places. You know what I'm saying? But if they would have read the book and they would have supported me, they would probably be up here with me. You know what I'm saying? They probably would, you know what I mean? They would be like, root me on, you know what I mean? They would be like, yo, oh, book, you feel me? Like, yo, oh, what's the vibe? Like, you writing books now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been a beautiful thing.
It's interesting because, and part of the questions also coming to me from a family at the Rio, and they want to know about Drink Champs.
Oh, okay.
So, I think the connection for me is, when you watch the Drink Champs interview with your former colleagues,
right? I haven't seen it, by the way.
You haven't seen it? No, you don't know why. It's actually, it's only like 42 minutes, right? It's not like the normal Drink Champs 3 hours. You gotta spend the whole afternoon watching. It's actually, you should watch it because you come up a little bit.
Okay.
Like at least 40 in 42 minutes.
Okay.
But the way, I think what they would say if they read this is, the person in this book isn't the person we worked with.
Right.
That person acts unbothered, but leaves when we do things. And this person acts like they're running their own race, but they're competitive with us. For girls, for lead parts, for all this stuff.
And you know, that's a rejection too. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have to own, you know, some accountability, you know, for, you know, just the difference in, you know, our experiences. And, you know, I would say that, you know, they do look at it in a specific type of way, you know, and I think that
Are they right?
I feel like it comes from accountability, you know, and when you're an accountable party, you know, it's almost like people feel indifferent to it because it's like a father. It's like a father is a bearer of bad news most of the time. You know, it's not a job that, you know, people want to take on, but it's a necessary job. You know what I mean? And I think the reason why there's so much, just energy there is because there's not enough accountability. There's not enough acceptance. There's not enough, you know, ability to say, you know what, you know, I think that ship might have sailed a long time ago too. You know, just because, you know, when you're family and, you know, you care about somebody, there's certain lines, you know, that you don't cross.
For example?
For example, if you tell, you know, your very trusted family member, you know, something that you don't want other people to know, you know, not honoring that, you know, and that's very, I would say most people probably have gone through that, you know what I mean? But I would say that, you know, the miscommunication and the way, you know, that it come back is really just telling, you know what I'm saying? It's really just telling. It's like, you know, either you want to have a great relationship with someone or you don't, even if it is an indifference. You know, there still can be respect, there still can be communication, you know, there doesn't always have to be this negative thing, you know, that has to be living outside of the nucleus of what it is, you know, because, you know, you will never really understand unless you were there. You know, you will never really get all of the pieces. You know, Charlamagne said to me, like, do we ever get to see anybody's full story? You know what I mean? And that was powerful to me, because all we can do is show up and tell our story. And that's what this is all about.
How do we heal?
I think we heal through conversation. You know, I think we heal through these mantras. I think we heal through affirmations, through breath work. And I think overall acceptance, you know, just accepting, you know, the way certain things are.
I want you, can you do me a favor before we finish? I wanted you to take us through some meditation.
Yeah.
I want you to, would y'all like him to do that?
Can we do that?
Let me ask you one more thing, because I'm sitting here, I can't help but think when we are, you in Germantown.
Yeah.
We one block back this way is Bain Street.
Okay.
You know, a few blocks over there is Pastorius. There's Pastorius in Bain is PNB. That's where PNB Rock is from.
Oh, okay.
He passed away when he was murdered 2 days ago. And it's heartbreaking for this community in particular.
It is.
One of the things that I've been thinking about and talking about with young people is our conceptions of manhood.
Yeah.
You take that up in the book.
I do.
Both in terms of fatherhood, in terms of maturity, in terms of growing into what you think a man is or a man should be.
Yes.
I'm struggling, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm struggling to watch a generation of people have to figure this out when the world is sending us all these, it didn't happen in my generation, your generation, but all of these negative or distorted ideas of what manhood is.
Yeah.
What is manhood to you, and how do we develop healthy manhood?
Yeah, so manhood to me is being able to, well, first of all, man is strength. Man is strength. Man is curious. Man is courageous. Man shows up, and a man, in my personal perspective, and also in the book, a man shows up. A man supports. A man takes accountability. A man, you know, realize the importance of his existence. And to touch on the PNB Rock thing, man, I want to definitely send love and light to his family. And I really, you know, something else has to happen, you know, other than a conversation, because, you know, to want to take somebody's life, you know, to, you know, it's unbelievable how much our culture has to deal with death on that level. You know, someone seemingly wanting to create a better life for themselves and others. You know, him being a father, you know, him having a family. You know, I don't have all of the answers, you know, but I would definitely say as a man, standing in my purpose, you know, I'm here to support the solutions. And, you know, I'm gonna definitely think about what we can do different, you know, to help some of these people that are starving. You know, some of these people that are, you know, sick from jealousy and wanting to steal and take from other people. You know, we gotta cure that. We gotta figure out how to cure that. And, you know, I think it's an important conversation that the culture needs to have.
For sure. We gotta balance that. It's like there are people who are jealous and want to take, and then there's people who have been deprived of access to the things they need, jobs, housing, healthcare.
Yes.
And when you combine unhealthy images with a lack of resources, it's an ugly cocktail, man.
I'm so glad that you know.
No, I mean, that's the mix, man. I got to ask you one more thing.
Okay.
Versus.
Yeah.
We all saw it.
Yeah.
Y'all saw it, right?
Very entertaining. Very entertaining.
No, you did not just hit him with the ting-ting. You did good too, baby. You are my brother, I love you, but that was not your best performance. You agree with that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I know, that's fine. Look.
See, you get yourself in trouble.
I know, you know what? Let's just meditate. Let's just meditate.
You get yourself in trouble.
No, but I was talking crazy on the internet, like, yo, the other brother.
You think that's what it is?
No, I'm trying to be polite.
Okay.
I think you weren't on your A game.
Okay.
How do you?
There's nothing wrong with him, to be honest.
Be honest.
That's his perspective.
Let me ask you, what's your perspective of that moment?
I mean, I don't think one moment defines, a 22-year career, period.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And also, like, we can all go online and see our favorites having whack shows. That's a fact.
All of them. Every single one.
You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we've had some moments. That's what I'm saying. So, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? And also, like, only our culture compares. Like, first of all, me and Mario are two different artists. He could never perform like me. He could never stand in the pit and perform. And I can't sit and sing on the mic like him. We do different things. You know what I mean? And I don't think that that's what my expectation was. I think
you never seen all the other verses?
No, because I didn't know it was gonna turn hip hop so fast. You know what I'm saying? And be so competitive.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're about this. You know what I'm saying? We're about. At the end of the day, I ain't tripping off of no other R&B singer because I got this. You know what I'm saying? So I got enough hearts.
Unbothered.
You feel me? I got enough hearts. So my ladies don't got nothing to do. And some of my ladies like the other artists, and that's cool. They just come visit me when I'm in town. So, you feel me? Just come visit me when I'm in town. You know what I mean? So, when everybody's comparing the two, and they're just like, yeah, because, there was some factors in there, you know what I mean? And one being the sound, you know what I mean? Because my sound was not sounding good. Like all my levels were way up, you know what I mean? Like, there's obviously, a professional aspect to it. And, as an artist, you really make yourself vulnerable because it's not like I could go jump back to the sound man, throw the mic at him, say, look, yo, you need to turn my EQ up. You need to actually blend me with the music, you know what I mean? Because guess what? When Mario was back there, they pressed one button, and all his presets were, and kudos to him because he was prepared.
Yeah.
He was prepared, so that's just my perspective.
So I bring that up in the context of this book.
Right.
Not to be messy, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's all good. This is the last time I'm gonna talk about it.
Here's why I ask, right? Because you give us a bunch of tools to navigate the world. And this is a real life moment. So after that moment, how does how do the ideas in this book help you center yourself?
Right.
To get perspective on that moment and to not be hostage or prisoner to it, right? But to move forward with what you just said, which is I got a 22-year career, I got amazing fans, I'm incredibly talented. You ain't gonna say, I'm gonna say you're a legend. You know what I'm saying? So if you know that, I still, when I'm on TV, I still get mad when the teleprompter goes out. Because nobody knows the prompter messed up, they just think I can't read. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look crazy. So I get you on the sound. Right. But I'm still mad.
Of course.
And I might go back to the sound. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not mature like you.
Right.
So what are the tools from here that you use to get there?
Right. So accountability is one. You know what I'm saying? That's a major one. Because like I said, no one's perfect. And it's not going to be perfect on this journey. You know what I mean? One, accountability. And also, you gotta have a great nest. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have, the kind of nest that when you go back inside, everybody they honest with you about their perspective. You know what I'm saying? And, they support you in a way that is balanced. And what do I mean by that? It's not good when you got somebody telling you that you right all the time. You know what I'm saying? But it's also not good when somebody's telling you wrong all the time. You feel me? So you gotta have a balance. You gotta have a nest and a support system that allows you to see the other perspectives. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I can take that moment on the chin, you know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, well, I've been doing this for a long time, guys. It's never gonna be perfect all the time, you know what I mean? And I own it, you know what I mean? So I think that is, a part of what a true artist is. It's owning the moments. And it's really powerful when you're able to do that. So
help me meditate, brother. I'm in a high stress life.
Okay.
They gonna jump me after the thing for talking about birthday.
Okay, so this is what I want y'all to do. We're gonna get into this. It's okay. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to get into some very amazing practices, daily practices that I have that are a part of my life. You know, when I wake up every day, I have these practices. We're going to meditate and we're going to do some breaths. So what I want you guys to do is to close your eyes and to relax to the deepest. You can put your hands facing upward. You can lay them on your lap. Whatever you do, I just want you to relax. They call this theta waves right here. You know, I have got my children into a process where, you know, sleep is easy for them because, you know, we're so inundated with, you know, information that we like. It's hard for us to sleep at night. I mean, we got too much on our mind. So this practice right here, just taking a beat for myself, really helped me just refocus and get centered. So relax, relax. Now what we're gonna do next is to get into some breaths. We're gonna take some deep breaths. We're gonna do 7 deep breaths, okay? And what I want you to do is inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And then after that, we're gonna get into some ohms. Om is the frequency of the universe. When you speak Om, you actually get aligned with the universe. Isn't that amazing? Ain't that interesting that you can align yourself with the universe? And when you do that, some amazing things happen. All right, so now we're gonna get into these breaths. Remember, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. I'm gonna take the first one. Last one, real deep. All right, now hold it. Tighten up your body. Now release. Let go of everything. Say it with me. You want to feel the vibration in your stomach and in your mouth. Loud. Last one, do it like you mean it. Just take your own time. Take your own time. Feel the moment. Realize where you are. Be fully present. Remember this moment. It's yours. Slowly open your eyes. Take your own time. Slowly come back. Okay. Wait a minute. I gotta make sure that my music is cute. Is my music cute? Okay. No, you gotta close your eyes. No, seriously. Don't open your eyes, okay? Okay. Close your eyes. Okay, I want you to stand up where you are. You too, don't act like you're sitting in the seat. I can't see, but I think you're sitting down, so stand up. Now keep your eyes closed. Can I get a little bit more money? This is about relationship with rhythm. This is the other thing that I do to bring joy to my life. Now what I want you to do is just move your body slowly. Nobody's looking at you, so you can move, okay? Because I can't see you unless there's some cheaters out there. Now don't cheat over your eyes. Move around a little bit. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, that's a nice exercise before you start your day. Just put on some music, close your eyes, don't judge yourself, and just warm up. Yeah. There you go.
When people do both of these, when should they be doing it? Like, I know you said that like in the morning.
Yeah.
The meditation, how often?
I think anytime during the day, to do it twice a day will really have you just like on a level, you know what I'm saying? So I would say like twice a day, you'd be really, really dope.
Wow.
And also, you know what? Do we want to read that passage? No, we're good. Do we want to read it? Y'all want to read something from the book? Yeah, I just want to read something from the book. Y'all doing so good.
And while we do that, we'll take a few questions from the audience. So before we get these books signed.
Okay.
So if you have questions, do we have microphones? How are we doing this? Justin is going around with the. So if you have questions, hold your hand up. Okay, just so we know. Go ahead. I want to get a sense of.
So I want to read this one to y'all. Okay. This is the being unbothered meditation. This is also something that you can do, just like in the sequence of the breathing. I'm sorry. 92. 92. Come on, yeah. Okay. Let me get you to page 92. Please open your books up to open unbothered up to page 92. Let me know when y'all good. I just love y'all. Y'all so funny. Okay, so being unbothered meditation, this really helped me a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna read this to you. I am walking away from toxicity. Be unbothered. Sometimes we go far from people who deserve very little. Be unbothered. I am willing to find a new way or make one. Be unbothered. I am disrupting ignorance with clarity. Be unbothered. I will gather my thoughts, be honest with myself. Be unbothered. I know now all that matters is what is meant for me. Be unbothered. I know that some things are meant to be, but not meant to last. Be unbothered. I stand firm in my truth like a rock, undisturbed and unmoved. Be unbothered. Ignorance and rudeness craves attention and acknowledgement. Be unbothered. So yeah, that's a good one.
I love it.
When they set tripping, when somebody wants to set tripping, when the throw in the book. No, it's teasing.
We got time for 5 questions, I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the bad. I'm gonna let my team pick over Uncle Bobby. So.
And shout out to Uncle Bobby's. You know what I'm saying? And understanding the importance of, information in a book form, because we live in a digital world, So thank you. You know what I mean? Salute, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Give us some love. Come on now.
I'm a therapist, so the things that you're talking about, I start off with that every morning, and it helps me with my children.
Oh, wow.
I'm unbothered. If I started me on my journey of reading all the many books because I couldn't even put it down and listen to you, so thank you. How long did it take you to like do the book, and what was part of your inspiration? I know you talked about some of the journeys and stuff that you had, but for people that, you know, want to write about things in their life, what was your, you know, your motivation, and what made you just say, I'm gonna do that?
Well, I was definitely, you know, pushed by my experiences, you know, asking myself some really tough questions, you know, really diving in deep and going into myself to really figure out what it is that I wanted, you know, and that's why all of those other practices became really valuable to me, you know, because the first thing you have to do is you got to decide, you know, you got to decide what do you want, you know, and that's a major, that's been a major, you know, key in my journey, because so many things are happening all the time, you know. As a parent, you understand how important it is for you to be fully present for, you know, your children, and you know, how important it is as a mother, you know, to weigh them in love, you know, their outer, you know, existence, and, you know, the way that they deal with the world is all based off of you, you know. So to be able to take those responsibilities and be inspired by that, be inspired by, you know, my art, being able to tell my story, these are all things that has motivated me to, you know, take these practices, because of course, just like y'all, like I never did it before, and I was like, well, this is kind of weird, like, what's the vibes, you know what I'm saying? But then when I just let go, I was like, wow, this is really useful. And, you know, that's fear, you know what I'm saying? That's fear. You know, you can't allow things to get in our way. So to answer your question, life has motivated me, you know what I mean, period.
Peace and blessings, everyone.
Hey, what's up?
All right, so my question for you is, so I know that spirituality, holiness, and nutrition go together. How has strengthening your spirituality affect your physical health and nutrition?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say that one more time.
How has strengthening your spirituality affect your physical health and nutrition?
You know what they say, it starts with the mind first. You know what I'm saying? It starts with the mind. The body can, you know, do what the body can do, but, you know, you gotta really, you know, you gotta get inside of the mind. So, just overall health practices, you know, practicing gratitude, being kind to people, that has, like, you know, allowed me to really step on new frequencies, you know, step up to, you know, levels that really only spirituality affords you, you know. And what is spirituality? I believe that spirituality is going within, you know, not necessarily always seeking outside answers. Although there's some great outside information, you have to go within. And, you know, me going within, and like I said, I'm not perfect, you know, there's still things I want to work on. You know, I think that's important to share those contexts, you know what I mean, because I'm not perfect by far, you know what I mean, but just having the will and the desire to want to be healthy and, you know, have a good life is what spirituality brought me into. So, yeah.
Okay, my question's pretty quick.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Awesome.
So I'm a very audio person. I don't know what the proper wording for this, but are you going to be releasing an audio version of your book?
Yes, the audio version is actually available now. You should definitely download it. There's some music in there, and yeah, the words be hitting different.
Download that audio book after you buy a physical copy for somebody that you got.
Get the audio book after you visit the house, okay? Sure.
Hi, Omari.
Hey, what's up?
How are
How you
you?
doing?
Good. Okay. So my question is, who are some of your favorite writers and authors?
I'm sorry.
Who are some of your favorite writers and authors?
Favorite writers and authors. There's this book. There's this book called The Master Key. I forget what the author name is, but The Master Key was definitely a great book. I would advise you all to get. as far as spirituality, asking yourself those questions. That author, I forgot his name. I'm sorry, you'll find the link? Okay. Is that what you said? Yeah. Okay, I heard you. Okay. That book, what's another? I just got this book. I'm sorry, I was just saying another bookstore. I just got this, I got this book from Queen of Food, which is really interesting, called, what is it called? How to Heal the Angry Vagina. Yeah, so I'll be reading that and giving you the reviews on that.
All the Queen of Food's books on health, diet, nutrition, and angry vaginas are available at Uncle Bobby's.
You see what I did there?
And just real quick, your book is, because I loved your question, your book is in a tradition of books that I think is really important. Some popular books like The Secret.
Yes.
Books like The Four Agreements.
The Four Agreements, come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are the
Alchemist.
The Alchemist.
Yep.
You know, that's why I'm like, when I read your book, I'm feeling, but it's not, it's not mimetic, as they say. He's not jacking someone else's style, but rather he's in conversation with these voices and these traditions and these authors. And so The Secret, The Four Agreements, The Alchemist, these are all books that I think will be compliments, and I'm sure clearly inspired you.
Yeah, I know about The Four Agreements. I know about all those books. I enjoy those books. Powerful books.
Great book. Y'all should read them. After you buy this one, read the other ones available at Uncle Bobby's.
Let the words hit you. You know what I'm saying? So you can get whatever you want. You feel it? Yeah.
Uncle Bobby's gets invites from so many. I mean, everyone writes a book wants to come through the bookstore, and we say no a lot. Because just because you're famous doesn't mean you have something to say.
Exactly.
You know, or you have something to say, but it might not be in line with what we want to have said. But you made a decision to educate your fans, to educate the audience, not just to give a cheap tell-all, not just to do a cheesy interview, but to actually invest in our hearts and our spirits, to care about our joy, and to be vulnerable about your own journey.
Fact.
And I'm so grateful that you did that. We're honored that you did that, and everybody, I want you all, and this is, I promise you, this ain't about making money. This ain't about selling books. I forget that. I promise you it's not that. It's that we want to reward this type of content, right? If he went on and did a tell-all book that he spent 2 days writing, you know, with 15 words in it, there'd be lines down the street about the book. If he was threatening violence against his brothers, if he was killing other people's business, if he was promoting things that are harmful to our community, those books would sell. But he's offering something that is healthy. Talk about Queen of Food. He's giving us nutrition right now. So we gotta reward him. We gotta reward him by supporting the project. So support this book. If you know somebody that could benefit from choosing joy, y'all work with some people that ain't been loved well.
Hit them with the book.
Y'all know people in your lives is mad all the time. Some of them people is y'all. Help them choose joy. I'm serious, man. Help yourself choose joy. This book will help you choose joy. Give this as a gift. Holidays is coming up. Choose joy for them too. So go out there, support this book, support our brother, and support other people who also you can help to choose joy every single day in their lives. Give it up for Omari.